Hey, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. I'm going to show you another journal today that I previously had listed, but have just changed out very small things. I added this image here of these beautiful birds. This one has some straw in its mouth. He's making a nest, the city in the background. It's stunning. This image is from the 1890s. And once again, I am using one of the prints from In Farm and Field from the 1890s. You can see that it's, the book itself is in horrible shape, but the prints have gone a long way to make a lot of people happy, including me. And someday, when all the prints are gone, this will be a journal itself. So I just swapped that out, and I added this lovely bangle here with some vintage jewelry on it. And I've got this antique handle here that I've attached. It's wooden and brass. And I think that's early 1900s, but it could be older. So we've got this pocket made out of a vintage dictionary page, and then just a little French page here that I turn into a journaling pocket. And then back here this is very cool. This is, it's how they did business. They would just write letters, and if it was a local location, it would get there very, very quickly. So that is Canada Post, and that is from the 1800s. Is that cool? March 1888. So neat. Okay, so then I've got it doesn't look it, but it is a vintage botanical page from the 60s. And here is an 1899 stereoscope, and with the history on the back there, and that would have been used with a stereoscope, and it would have been sort of a 3D look. So these are called stereo vision cards. Neat, eh? I have some little secret journaling pockets down here and here, and then this is a funky fun 1950s magazine page with from Needleworks and Crafts, and it's this page here is on sweaters. Look at these little cutie patooties. I'm sure I had that exact same haircut, and it did not look that cute on me. Really bad. God, I would love to show you pictures of that. Okay, this is a 1920s ledger page with the hand-stamped corners, which I love, from Martin and Moore Limited, and then on the back it would have been another company. This is from that photo book collection that I have, a gentleman standing on his porch. And then another ledger page. This one's kind of cool. It was a kind of ledger that had alphabetized tabs on it. So that is TU. Isn't that neat? Okay, and there's the flip side of that, botanicals page. And this is just a little pocket here. This is a newspaper piece from 1899, and it was so brittle I had to mount it on the back of sticker paper because it was crumbling. And then, yeah. That gets flipped right into there. There we go. And just some fun clusters, some 1930s Monopoly money, which I love using, and a canasta scorecard. And that's just a blank page for journaling on as well. This is a 1930s music sheet. And this came from the 1937 University of Knowledge Renaissance Art Encyclopedia, and I love it. I love every print they put out here. They're just classic and fantastic. Mary Had a Little Lamb from 1930 children's book. Look at that, isn't that fantastic? Love it. And there's Mr. Rembrandt himself. Somebody who's wrote their lesson date in here. Another wonderful old newspaper clipping here on top of another botanical page. A Place in the World. I love that I pulled that out of the, what do you call it? What do you call it? Dictionary. Thank you. An embroidery instruction sheet here, antique book page with a blank side on it, and then this wonderful full color recipe page. Party fare without cooking. That is my favorite kind of cooking. No cooking. Zero cooking. It's just some blank antique pages there stuffed into a little pocket I made out of antique needlepoint. It was supposed to be an upholstered chair, but it never made it to the chair. A little sewing page here, another embroidery page here, and that is, I believe, tatting. for those of you who know what tatting is, lovely lace making, and a children's book page, Sing a Song of Books. I thought that was perfect for a journal. And then here we have another, the end, journaling tag that I made out of antique bits. More antique paper here and here. And here's one of these wonderful 1920s children's book pages. Now, this one a child has taken and colored in over the last 100 years. So I got this book very, very inexpensively because the lady said, oh, it's damaged. It has all this crayon in it. And I thought, I love that a child loved the book before I got it. So I scooped that up. This is a lovely, lovely postcard from 1915. Isn't that pretty? And a 1921 Etude magazine page. It's very old, so I'm being careful. There's a constant danger in an oily skin, but look how pretty she is. And then over here are just the most wonderful music. This was a music magazine, so all these music ads here. Just really fun to look at. You can cut that up if you want, or just enjoy it as it is. Use it for your own clusters. Here, another antique page that I made into a tag. And this is a page from the Victoriana book about Victorian furniture, and that is a vintage book. And then I put in an envelope full of vintage stamps. Some are antique in there and some are vintage. And I made that pocket out of a very old antique book page. Just some trim down there. And a vintage playing card, the Ace of Hearts, my favorite. And that is the end of our journal. So that's being revised up on Etsy now, hyperstamper.etsy.com.